I would pause it, but I'm doing this live because I don't have any device on my computer. So what I'm doing after this is I'm going to go back on YouTube and find out how to clear all my shit up because it's getting out of control. And then I can share that too if it works. This is what I do. I get to the point where everything gets full and then I get something new. And like I can't afford to get something new right now. So we have to like clean it up. And I need to clean it up anyway. Probably wouldn't need the inhaler if I didn't talk so fucking much. But anyway, so Mormons. That's it really. I don't really know a lot about Mormons. Next encounter I had with Mormons, just random. I mean, I'm telling you, if you were to give me like a rapid fire, I'd be like Utah Jazz, Karl Malone. They don't like Black people. But again, it wasn't a big deal because they were super white and I was like, I'll never be around them anyway. Well, come to find out, they're all over. They're all over the West. They're spreading their word. It's working. Their mission is working. But I did know that there was a very extreme faction that also had like multiple wives. They just had alternative lives. Anytime you have to take a class or anything, have any discussion about alternative lifestyles in the United States, Mormons are going to come up. So, I was not very educated on the religion, I will admit. I had a lot of racially based stereotypes about them. I will definitely admit that. And I think that, as a Black woman, there was just nothing, there was no draw there for me. It's not even like they're fabulous about it in my eyes. I thought they were very plain, puritanical, simple folk. I never got the impression that they were worldly in any way. Liked nice things like that. Like they could have worldly things. I did not know there was a Black community there to the extent that they had money too. And I didn't really know a lot about Utah's history. A lot of what we get out here is negative towards Utah because the more that they grow, the more that they consume a lot of the natural resources out here, and we're already in the desert. Speaking of which, let me get some water. Maybe pronouncing that correct. I don't know how long that's going to last. But I will tell you this. The more that they expand, the more that there's been a strain on the water, and there's been a very big drought. And in learning about the drought, I found out that apparently part of the vision that Brigham Young and John Smith had was that God told them that they were to go out into the desert. This is how I understand it. Please, if you have some further understanding about LDS culture or history, let me know. But as far as I understand it, they go out because the Lord told them to, and they were told that this land is dry, but through your good deeds and through spreading the word of God and everything, you are bringing forth this land to be like abundant. And so that's what they did. I mean, if you go, like, you look at where they live, it's like they I don't know how they set it up out there. And even driving through the southern part of Utah, which is what you have to come through to get to Vegas, if you take that way, of course. But if you can go up and around and come down Salt Lake and come down. But I had no desire to see Salt Lake at the time when we were relocating to Los Angeles. And I do have a desire now because I am definitely seeing the benefit of just being around all that nature. It's so beautiful, and I definitely miss that. Not to say that we're not around nature in Vegas, but we're around a lot of everything, but not a lot of everything. Anyway, they got a bad rap. And as a viewer, I wasn't sure if I was going to invest myself in it because I remember Orange County and not being impressed until they did New York. And now here's the thing. I've seen a glimpse of what I've seen, and I understand it to be a mix, not only of the Mormon women that live there, but the other women that live there. And I don't have high expectations, and I don't think this isn't the show for me. Just like with Potomac, I didn't watch the first 2 seasons because my top 2 Housewives franchises, and they alternate, but I'll say at the top right now for me which is problematic. It was the top for me, but I actually didn't finish last season, was New York. And now New York, for me, it's off and on. Franchises in general are off and on. Very seldom do they get it right, to me. Now, let me say this. There are franchises that should have been canceled that aren't, like New Jersey. And there are franchises that got canceled and shouldn't, like Miami. And I think that they could have done more to do like character development or promotion. I don't know. I don't know. I've just, this is my, like, certain shows, I'm a loyal fan. I might not tune in all the time, but I still try to keep abreast of what's going on. It's kind of like being a fan of like The Simpsons, you know, you just watch it and like pretty much get the full idea of the show just within the first 10 minutes. Like, you know who hates each other. It's never going to change. People are people. They're the same. But that's why I love the show, because I'm a girl's girl and I love drama and like watching all that mess, because this would never happen in my real life. Or would it? I mean, who knows? Like, anybody that has a friend that like is moderately successful, you know, you end up really seeing how these shows are really like a mirror. Maybe not every single situation, but there are situations that are very similar. And I might not say it out loud at the moment, but I'm thinking like, oh my God, this is like a Portia and Katie or whatever. So Salt Lake, for me, I didn't know if there was enough juice there. But then when you think about Big Love, that show was wild. And you even, when you see like the, you know, sometimes when they talk about cults, some of the LDS factions will come up. And even the way that I'm talking about it now, because there are a good amount of Mormons out here, is definitely like different for me. So yeah, I think that it's going to be good to show, unless it's a bunch of Trump supporting. That's why I don't mess with OC, because having been to OC and seen how, for no reason, bougie and like commonplace they are, it just, to me, that's not the fantasy. For me to be on the Upper East Side in Manhattan and be a Morgan at this age is nearly impossible, unless excuse me, unless I have a child and they marry one. But yeah, for me, the New York lifestyle is so, you could be sitting next to someone like that there, but there's so many people. You have to know places to go. You have to know the right things to do. You have to be in a certain echelon of society. And I think that's great. Like, these women worked at that, and like that was their full-time job. So they can have the luxury of petty dramas and all these things, because, you know, in some ways they have earned it, whether through their personal careers or through the support of their husbands' careers or through inheritance. And I'm not judging if it's a combination of all three or none of the above. You could have hooked and crooked your way to the top, but you know, you got a mix of everything. Certain franchises have a mix of everything. So, face value, in this one, there are several white women that do look alike to me from a teaser clip. Not to say that they look completely alike, but they look like the same type of woman. I smell a few Karens in the mix, which I'm okay with, because they're in Salt Lake. They're far away from me. Now, can we educate them? Can we use this as a platform to educate? Absolutely. Now, I will say this. I didn't realize that I had this power until I started watching Top Chef last season. And Chef Kevin made a, what I thought to be, and I could talk about this later, or if it does come up some other time in my life, an irritatingly, intentionally asinine turn of phrase, I guess, when he called what he was cooking, which was soul food, plantation cuisine. And I find that word so problematic that I tweeted him. I actually started Twitter and tweeted him. And I said, that is problematic. And you use the term Shanghai, which I always took to mean as a thief, or a thief, or just a crook in some kind of way. And I definitely didn't feel like using that. It didn't feel not racist to me. So I felt, as a person that's trying to be conscious, they're on the side of, this is a racist term. So I tweeted him and he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Because there were a few things that he, whatever. And then somebody like saw that he tweeted me just directly. Like you could have, at the time, I had like no followers. I don't even have, it's literally just the tweets just sitting there. And he was like, you know, we had a dialogue, totally acknowledged, accepted, listened, understood, and processed. And somebody came after him and was like, it's okay, that's not what it means. And it's like, this is a white woman telling him that that's not what it means. So why are you policing his wokeness? Like he's okay to be in a mistake for a second. He'll be okay. But she felt the need to again coddle and continue to allow the entitlement to just rule not only his life but her life too, just digitally by being adjacent to it. The whiteness has permeated any kind of, for some, any kind of responsibility for not being ignorant today. But I digress. Anyway, that's what I expect from Salt Lake. Now let's check out the teaser. I did see a Black woman. I at this point count 2 Black women, which is 2 more than I thought there would be. And for some of you franchises, 2 more than you got. Think about it. And how long have you been on? Okay, so there's that. This is a big fucking wake-up call. If this show takes off, I see glimpses of things, and I feel like it's cold. It's wintertime. This is a very smart move by Bravo to get us. If we're going to be cold, I want to be après ski, baby. I want to be living it. I want to be like, just crunching through everything. I want everything to be salty and gross. I want to have like 25, I want to have a whole closet full of coats because it's so cold and nasty. I love the snow, but I also hate the snow in the city. So this is actually like people live like this all year. That's great. So I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I want to watch the first few episodes, but again, it's giving me the vibe that this is going to be like 5 Kim Zolciaks and half a Nene. No, not half a Nene, half a Vicky. And Vicky could really be interchanged with Karen. And that's just me saying that from seeing Vicky Gunvalson maybe twice, once at the BravoCon thing. Who I like? The Playboy model one, because she seemed like she was drunk all the time. And I don't know if she's still on the show, but that was, OC didn't really get it for me. It was like the parents of the Hills. And it was just like, ew, no. But Salt Lake is promising. I am excited to see what it is. I remember seeing this teaser and having an intentional eye roll, but then also thinking about the state of the Housewives franchises right now, and with the distancing, and if they were able to shoot some of this before all of that, they're good to go. We need the content, we need the excitement. Potomac is giving me, Potomac feels like they're dragging it out. I feel like Portugal could probably have been 2 episodes if we're getting a 3rd. I don't know. What do you think? But I'm just rambling now because I am excited to have a new show. This, for me, I probably get to watch, for the amount of TV that I love, I only get to watch probably 2 to 3 unfocused hours of TV a week. I am constantly doing something else, and I cannot commit to a show. And I've also been saving my time because I'm going to see my family and catch up on a show an acted show that I love, The Crown. Because again, I love The Crown for a lot of the reasons why I love The Housewives. It's just extravagant nonsense with a bunch of people that are entitled and don't deserve it. Like, it's just great, Like, you don't pick your life, you know what I mean? But in some ways, seeing people like that, it's like, what the hell? Like, who? The wheel turned and you're the Queen of England for a lifetime? Crazy. Or you're Bethany, or you're Ramona. Can you imagine being Ramona for just a second? Like, just living her life, living her truth. That is a wild ass ride. Or any, imagine being born Candy. That's your life. So that's why I love these women. Even if I don't like them, I still love them because it's hard being a woman as it is. And these women are, even if it's not all true, they're putting a portion of their lives out there for everybody to judge and inspect and dissect and see. And it's just like, all right, well, if you're going to do that, then I sure as hell am going to tune in and revel in it. So I cannot wait to get my reaction. I'm going to take a shower because I've been running all day and it's time to take it down. And I take it down with some Housewives. So I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to watch Housewives. And I'm going to come back and tell you what the hell I think is going on.